Okay, so today is one of those days where I'm just gonna talk. Because I guess this is about formulating my thoughts concerning singing or being a musician. I don't know, a vocalist, I don't know. Here's the thing. I had this realization, or I don't know, I was having this dialogue in my head. You can call it a monologue, I'm talking to myself, but I guess it's like me, myself, and I, you know. And in my head, I'm thinking, there are so many opportunities and so many resources for, let's say, writers, like creative writers, novelists, and people who need investment and time and critique and all that stuff for their work. There's residencies, there's competitions, there's all these stuff. And then for singing, I'm not gonna say there's none of that, but even today I'm practicing my guitar and whatever, I'm not that great. I'm not a guitarist, okay? I'm not a pianist, but I use it to help me compose songs, and I use it to create the feel, you know, that I want with my music. But I just never feel, I'm like, no matter how much I like practice, I'm just not, why? Improvement, where is it, you know? Maybe I'm just not, I need to do like, you know, 40 hours a day practice or something like that. There's singing. If you have a talent for that, then there's nothing hard about it. But to be a singer, which, you know, we have to define that, I guess that's to have some sort of, I don't want to use that word following. Someone who's being impacted by your music. I guess that's how I define it. I don't know if I have anyone like that. I talked a little bit in my imposter syndrome video about wanting to release songs, and recently I posted one very simple recording that's part of a Victorian song project that I want to post, right? And I'm proud of it, even though it's like the smallest little thing. It's 1 out of 5 songs. I'm not a producer. I haven't taught myself how to do all the great producing and stuff yet. However, it's something, you know, like at least someone will know I exist. If something happened to me today, they would be like, okay, Kyla existed, she's saying, here's one song. But I want to finish that project, and it definitely takes a lot. I need a lot of practice and time, and I gotta record, and I probably need to somehow get a keyboard up in here. Slight frustration. It's not a big thing. Like, I see many more possibilities now. I have more hope than I did in previous videos that I posted. This whole thing seems impossible. It seems impossible. I know it's not. It seems impossible. I don't know. There's a need for collaborating. You always have to find other artists that understand you, other musicians that understand you, and how you communicate your song, how you communicate the tone of your music, and then they'll have to be able to translate that and then be willing to invest that time, especially if it's your project. So if they're investing time in my project, I need to be able to invest time in other people's projects. And I feel like the only thing I have is my voice. I'm just not good enough at anything else. And this isn't like a pity party that I'm having here. I'm thinking out loud. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm just gonna have to keep on doing what I'm doing. So here's the thing. The Victorian poem project that I mentioned is a project in which I take 5 poems from the Victorian age. I have a book. I have this book, English, I don't know if that's in focus, I don't care. It's English Victorian poetry. It's one of my favorite books. But for example, one of those poems, Sweet and Low by Alfred Tennyson, really stood out to me, and that's a song that I recorded and I posted on SoundCloud, my first song on SoundCloud, and I put it on my personal website, and I'll link it down below. The dream is to record the rest of the other 4 songs that I wrote music to, right? That I wrote a melody to. And that would be like my first, I don't know what you call it. It's not an album, EP. That would be my first thing. It would be my first project that I would have released. I'd be very proud of that. It's something small, but that small achievement would mean something huge to me. And not only like to mention that I'm writing that book, the historical romance that I talk about in my upcoming vlog. And that historical romance novel is set in the later Victorian period, the later 1800s. And so when I finish this song project, I'm wondering, okay, when I finish this song project, I'm wondering, can I use some of these songs as when I'm sharing my novel more openly, I think, with everyone? Then I would like that song project to be in the background of all of that. I'm just hoping everything comes together, you guys. You need so many connections, you need a platform, you need networking, you need all this stuff that I'm not very good at, if I'm being honest. But that's how you have to make it. I don't want to make it, but I do want to release songs, and in order to do that, I have to know people. I don't have all of the equipment that I need and whatnot. Anyway, if you want to stay connected and hearing about this Victorian project or any other song projects that I've got going on, please look in the description and see those links. Feel free to share what's helped you, if you're a singer, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, what has really encouraged you in your pursuit of fulfillment, right, when it comes to your art medium. I think hearing from others like myself would be really helpful. All that's left is this music thing, and because it's the most important thing to me, I think that's why it's like it's getting to me. Anyway, those are my thoughts.